This is the Off the Beaten Path podcast with Ben Merritt.
This is the Zack Brown Band.
The Van Perry.
Hey, I'm Taylor Swift.
And you won't be hearing any of that here.
You fought like an outlaw. No worry what went wrong. We're part of history. We've been all along. But everyone you say is numb. And all your excuses, they all sound foolish now. We all fight the good fight. We all know what is right. We work too hard to have nothing change. We've all got the right to fix things that we don't like, while we cuss and yell and scream and fight. Revolt, reshape and reload. Revolt, reshape and reload. Yeah. No point in arguments. Morals are our instruments, and in this climate, we are united. So open up your arms, let us into your arms. We'll never lie to you, even though we've come so far. We all fight the good fight. We all know what is right. We work too hard to have nothing change. We've all got the right to fix things that we don't like, while we yell and cuss and scream and fight. Revolt, reshape and reload. Revolt, reshape and reload. Yeah. Everyone you say is numb. And all your excuses, they all sound foolish now. We all fight the good fight. We all know what is right. We work too hard to have nothing change. We've all got the right to fix things that we don't like, while we yell and cuss and scream and fight. Revolt, reshape and reload. Revolt, reshape and reload. Revolt, reshape and reload. Yeah. Yeah. You called me an outlaw. I never meant to do no wrong. We're part of history. We've been all along.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt, and there is the O's. The O apostrophe S. The O's with their tune Outlaw off the Thunderdog album. Came out in 2013, so not too long ago. And the O's are kind of a great little, fluky, folky, bluegrassy band. And this is actually their third album, Thunderdog. First one, We Are the O's. Second one, Between the Two, which actually makes sense because it's between the two other albums. Moving on. Anyway, so check them out. I found them on Spotify. Again, I'm loving this because it kind of just, if you like this artist, then you'll probably like this artist. But it does it a lot better than Pandora because, well, I'm not going to downplay anybody that gives you free music. So because that's what I do. Free music right here on Off the Beaten Path podcast. This week's guest is Zack Joseph. Kind of a folk bluegrass feel to this week's episode. So if you're not into folky bluegrassy stuff, sorry. If you are, hooray. And if you're not, stick around because you never know. You might be able to find something that you can like or tolerate. I like it all. So, all right. So we've got Zack Joseph coming up in a little bit. But first, before we get to Zack, who I met on Twitter, by the way, we got the Farewell Drifters. The Farewell Drifters have been around for a while. Kind of got that poppy, folky, bluegrassy feel. So very much like Mumford & Sons and the Avett Brothers. And if you're into that new movement of pop music, then A, thumbs up, good for you. And B, then you'll probably like the Farewell Drifters. So, Farewell Drifters on Off the Beaten Path podcast, off of Tomorrow Forever. That's the album. Here is the tune Modern Age. It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
In the month of January, we can live in the modern age. Wake up and clear our conscience, leave it all on New Year's Day. Can you feel that the world is turning, moving out from beneath our feet? This year we're gonna turn with it, modern age to an all new beat. Our life is more than photos in boxes. I don't want to be your lonely companion. We're just waiting for the modern age. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. The world has gotta keep moving, no way we can stop it now. In the month of January, we can try and slow it down. Last count and the ball is dropping, made it through to the modern age. One kiss for the year of memory that we left when we turned the page. Our life is more than photos in boxes. I don't want to be your lonely companion. We're just waiting for the modern age. Oh, whoa. This year is our year. Not a soul can take it away. This year is our year. Oh, thank God it's here to stay. In the modern age, in the modern age, in the modern age, in the modern age.
What's up?
Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/offthebeatenpath.
Appreciate you. You're just so cool.
And follow us on Twitter at OTBP Podcast.
I'm an island, and I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Can you warm them as the evening falls? Silent when I'm silent, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine, just like out from the cover and underneath. I walk for a moment through the cartwheel leaves, and I hold my love, and I hold my tongue as if I'd never before held a single one. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Islands, islands, islands. I'm an island, just like you, 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 just like you.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. That is Islands, the name of the tune from Nathan Reich and the album All Night Pharmacy. Nathan, again, very great artist, amazing voice. Oh, and I love the underplay of almost everything. I mean, just that folky, this is what we do, this is how it's going to come across, and this is what I play, like it or I don't. Either way, there's Nathan Reich. And again, that is Islands off of All Night Pharmacy. Ben Merritt taking you all the way up through some brand new country music. A little bluegrassy today, a little folky today. And that's because, well, we've got special guest Zack Joseph coming up in a little bit. Again, Zack, very active on Facebook and Twitter and things like that, and we'll talk to him about it. As a matter of fact, he's hyperactive, and in a good way, on YouTube. He's there all the time. So check him out on YouTube. We'll talk about it. Don't worry. And there's a really cool project for you on there to watch, not to be involved with, because nobody wants homework. Consider this your homework. You're listening to some great new country stuff that you probably never heard of before, like Carolina Story. Carolina Story, again, a great duo, a lovely lady and a great gentleman. Check them out. Carolina Story, 2 albums. One came out in 2011 with Home, and then Chapter 1, even though it's the second album, I'll let it slide, came out in 2013. Here you go. This is Carolina Story and Your Children's Children. This is off of Chapter 1 on Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
Remember when you were a child? Your heart was pure, your eyes were wild. Your every dream within your grasp. Now you feel your time is past. Do you love the life you made? Will you wear a smile when you were old and gray? All the stories that you'll tell. Yeah, your children's children, they will know them well. And just maybe a time's coming. Ring that bell. Farmer plants, the farmer sows. The father takes, the father grows. Every king is but a man. In the palm of God's right hand. Do you love the life you made? Will you wear a smile when you were old and gray? All the stories that you tell. Yeah, your children's children, they will know them well. And just maybe a time's coming. And just maybe a time's coming. Every day feels like a war. Suits and ties are keeping score. Kingdoms rise and castles fall. Every big thing must start small. Do you love the life you made? Will you wear a smile when you were old and gray? All the stories that you tell. Yeah, your children's children, they will know them well. And just maybe a time's coming. And just maybe a time's coming.
Anybody got a computer?
Be sure to find Off the Beaten Path on the internet,
Country radio on my computer.
on Facebook,
Internets.
and Twitter. Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt, and I love my job. This is the coolest thing that I've ever had to do or gotten to do or been able to do. I get to introduce people to brand new country music artists, and this is a gentleman that I met via Twitter. This is Zack Joseph. Zack, how are you, sir?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing well, and Zack, it's kind of cool how we met basically on Twitter, and then all of a sudden now you're on the podcast, and I'm really digging your music, man.
Thanks.
So it's well, hang on. Before we get too far into it, there, Zack, we've got to do the icebreaker questions. I didn't warn you about these, so hopefully you're quick on your toes. Normally, I do like the pre-interview rundown where I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to talk about, and then we'll talk about this, and then we got this. I never tell anybody about the icebreakers, so it's okay if you're a little thrown a little.
Okay, I'm prepared. I'm ready.
Okay, it's nothing like, you know, what's the square root of 643? So
Okay, good.
All right.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either. I don't think I have a calculator within hand's reach that I could get it on. Question number 1 is, where are you right now? Be as specific or non-specific as you would like to be.
Right now, I am at my producer's house, actually, and we are running over string parts So we're playing cello and violins and stuff for the album I'm coming out with.
Oh, very cool. Well, see, and here it is. Zach, you're one of the last people that's going to get asked this question because for season number 2, I need to come up with a better one because you already answered it. Question number 2, what, besides talking to me right now, are you doing? Because we can all multitask on the phone, and you already answered that question.
Oh.
It's all right.
I'm just fidgeting with things. I'm like fidgeting with things specifically. So.
Me too. I got a clicky pen in my hand.
Yeah, I'm messing with a capo.
There you go.
Yeah, so, that's what I'm doing right now.
Well, actually, it's a good thing that you brought up the cello and the string parts on the new album, and we'll talk about your the process to a new album in a little bit. But you actually are a classically trained cellist, aren't you?
Yes, I am. So that's kind of how I got into music. First of all, no one in my family, my parents or anyone, really play any music. So I kind of, in 4th grade, I got taken down to, like, we had an orchestra in our school, so we're like, sure, the instruments, who wants to play what? And I just fell in love with the cello. So kind of came home and started playing cello. That kind of stuck with me. So I ended up going to college for it and everything.
Very cool.
So I went pretty far with it.
Well, I mean, it's led you into a professional music career in some ways, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's would you say that the cello is your instrument of choice, or have you moved on to the guitar a little bit now, or?
The cello is a special place in my heart. I mean, I don't play it too much anymore. I kind of had to pull it out of the closet for this whole recording thing. But I love guitar, but I wouldn't say I'm even the best at guitar. If I had to pick an instrument, I'd say my voice would probably be what I'm most into right now. So
just like a singer, right?
Yeah.
No, it's fine. That's a good answer. Because you kind of have a pretty distinctive sound to your voice. I kind of give it a little bit, and don't get a big head over this, but just putting it in terms everybody can understand until they hear you in a little bit. It's kind of got like a Hank Williams Sr., Bob Dylan combo kind of going on, I think.
Okay, yeah. That's I loved Hank Williams when I was like a teenager, and I never really got into Bob Dylan too much until recently, just because everyone kept saying I sound like Bob Dylan. So,
so I'm not the only one who said it.
Yeah, no, because it's pretty much every time I sing, everyone's like, "You sound like Bob Dylan." And I'm like, really? Okay, I guess I think I more so liked the stuff that influenced Bob Dylan, and
right.
So maybe that's what happened. But that's a compliment for sure.
Yeah,
both those people.
Like I said, I meant it as a compliment. I didn't, try to keyhole you into a specific area because, like I said, you've got a very distinctive sound to your voice, and I'm digging it a lot.
Thanks.
All right. So tell us a little bit more about your background. You said you went to college for music. Where did you go?
Well, I'm originally from north of Niagara Falls, New York, actually. But I went to school a little south of Buffalo, New York, and it was a big music education, it's like teaching program school for string instruments and choral music and everything like that. So I started off doing cello there, and I got sick of being stuck in little practice rooms. So they just introduced a music business program at the school, and so I kind of switched. At that time, I was writing more music, and I was playing more guitar and singing more. So I kind of took the plunge to go into the music industry as compared to being a teacher or playing in a philharmonic or something. So I got myself a tattoo on my arm and said, "That's it. I'm not being a teacher now," and then switched my major.
Wow. Yeah, the ink is not exactly socially acceptable for teachers of classical music, I'd guess.
Yeah, that was kind of a deal to deal with that one. I remember that.
Did the folks have a problem with the tattoo too, or?
No, they kind of encouraged it, actually. I have pretty cool parents. So.
Wow. Well, cool. Excellent. So it's kind of interesting. Obviously, string instruments play a big role in the Americana feel and in the bluegrass feel as well. Have you ever thought about maybe turning the cello into a stand-up bass?
I've thought of it. I don't think I could handle playing a cello as a stand-up bass and singing at the same time. So if anything, I'd just like to get a cool stand-up bass player to play with me.
That would be cool. Yeah, definitely. So, all right. Well, as I said, I've kind of stalked you a little bit on the internet. We met on Twitter, and I moved on to your website, and then I moved on to your YouTube page, and I saw that you were doing this cool thing, and I'm really digging it because you got some really fun covers on there on your YouTube page. The Cranberries with Zombie. You got Wildwood Flower on there for classic country fans as well. So your YouTube page, you're kind of blowing things up, and I see that you're working on kind of a monthly project as well.
Yeah, I have so many influences that are really old. I mean, when I was younger, I had like a crank Victrola and everything.
Wow.
And just, old records, and so I'm doing this project right now. It's called the Centennial Tour, and so pretty much, starting in January when it turns 2014. Pretty much every month is dedicated to a new 10 years within the past 100 years. So the first January was dedicated to the 1910s to the 20s.
Okay.
And so I'm just pretty much, and then February is the 20s, March will be the 30s, so on, until we hit the present day. And so it's just a cool way for me to have an excuse to play some old tunes in my own way that no one else would probably ever want to hear, but there's an excuse to do it, I guess, now. So just pretty much just my favorite songs from every era, and I get to do a YouTube video of them. And so.
Well, most definitely. Like I said, I enjoyed some of the covers that you had on there. It's, like you said, it's a rethinking, I think, of some of these songs that people have a pretty pre-established knowledge of, and I like it a lot.
Thanks.
All right. Now it's time to talk about one of your songs instead of you doing covers on YouTube. It's time to talk about one of the tunes that I really dug, and there's a lot of feeling and a lot of emotion behind this song, I think. Tell us a little bit about 10 Pounds More.
10 Pounds More. That's funny. That's the one we were just working on, getting string parts for. So that's going to be on the new album coming out in April, but that's going to have strings and a full band and everything on it from what I think you're going to show everyone. But 10 Pounds More, it's pretty much a breakup song, I guess you could say. I've actually never been, dumped or heartbroken before. So, I mean, I pretty much picked the things I liked most about past relationships and I guess put them into a song where I felt like I'd miss them the most if I was really into someone and they let me go.
Like if all the best parts of your previous relationship was in one person and then that person left, kind of?
Yeah, so those three verses kind of all, I guess there's probably three different girls, and I picked the things out of the three of them that I liked the best, and put it in there. And then I guess it's just about how we have something, we lose it, and then we try to make up for that space we've lost with bad things.
Yeah.
So alcohol and stuff.
Well, it happens more often than you think. I mean, everybody talks about the rebound, and they never see the fall before the rebound, I guess. So. Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's a very, very good song, and this, as you said, is kind of the stripped-down version. Looking forward to hearing the full version when the album comes out in April, and we'll talk about that in a little bit still. But first, here it is, the stripped-down version of 10 Pounds More from the gentleman that I've got on the line right now, Zack Joseph. Zack, here we go, all right? Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I lay alone at night, watching the stars move slowly by, hoping that one will fall for me. But they always stay up there above, and I'm left here without any love, waiting for your voice in the night sky. 'Cause every now and then I get a feeling that I'm missing something worth meaning. That is until I hear you say, baby, I love you. Maybe you're not here with me right now. I know I'm gonna find you somehow. You're out there somewhere waiting to say, baby, I love you. I believe that there's a God above, and that we are meant to find true love, zoomed for some later for others. And when that day finally comes, I know that she will be the one sent down from heaven just for me. 'Cause every now and then I get a feeling that I'm missing something worth meaning. That is until I hear you say, you'll say, baby, I love you. Maybe you're not here with me right now. I know I'm gonna find you somehow. You're out there somewhere waiting to say, you'll say, baby, I love you. Will ring true. I'll lay and watch those stars with you and smile as I say I love you. Forget about the nights I spent alone, laying in the grass behind my home, waiting for your voice in the night sky. 'Cause every now and then I get a feeling that I'm missing something worth meaning. That it's until I hear you say, you'll say, baby, I love you. Maybe you're not here with me right now. I know I'm gonna find you somehow. You're out there somewhere waiting to say, you'll say, baby, I love you. Every now and then I get a feeling that I'm missing something worth meaning. That it's until I hear you say, you'll say, baby, I love you. Maybe you're not here with me right now. I know I'm gonna find you somehow. You're out there somewhere waiting to say, you'll say, baby, I love you.
There you have it. There's 10 pounds more, the stripped-down version from what you'll be hearing. Well, Zach, we'll talk about that in just a bit. We got gentleman Zach Joseph on the line. Zach, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Still plucking away on the cello right now, or you're...
No, I'm just fidgeting with some different things.
Still playing with the capo. Got it. All right. I still got my clicky pen. So
Yep.
It's an OCD thing, man. I play with a clicky pen whenever I got one. So anyway, nobody wants to hear about me. They want to hear about you, and actually, they want to hear from you. You are hitting the East Coast pretty hard coming up in the month of May, along with another lovely lady. And no confusion, the last episode we had Jessica Lynn on the air. That was Jessica Lynn, Lynne. You have Jessica Lynn, Lynn, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But doing the northbound tour along the East Coast with Jessica Lynn, tell us what's your plans for the tour?
Well, Jessica's a good friend of mine. She's actually from Montana originally, so we both kind of moved down to Nashville at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And she was actually possibly going to be my third housemate. And then she came to look at the house and decided she didn't like it, so she moved on. And then the guy living with, we texted her and was like, hey, come jam sometime. And now we're like best friends with her. So we both have a similar style and sound, so we were kind of like, hey, we're getting sick of doing nothing, kind of. And we're both doing things with music, but we decided to go on tour. And so, yeah, the whole month of May, we're pretty much we're starting down as far as, I think, Savannah, Georgia, and then
Mm-hmm.
we're going all the way up to Boston, and then back west a bit, and then down back to Nashville. But so we're just playing a bunch of cool bars, restaurants, music venues, and pretty much we have a show every night.
I like some of the names of the bars that you're going to, like
Yeah.
the one on the 6th is the Tattooed Moose. I'm really digging the name of that one. So
Yeah, no, it's funny how it worked out. Like, our music is definitely more like folk and I guess a little different. It's not too country or anything, but then all the venues we got kind of, I think, fit with our tour.
yeah, well, that's good. And Hey, the folk music, the Americana feel, the bluegrass, that's all making a big resurgence right now. So you're hitting it pretty much right at the exact same time that you should be. So that's perfect for making a tour along some of those cool, trendy bars along the East Coast.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, it's time to do the actual business portion of the show. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. This is the Pimp Yourself portion. I want you to go ahead and tell everyone how they can find you online. Yes, you have a website, but tell us how to get like your Instagram. Obviously, you've got a great YouTube page. Tell us all about it and how we can find all that info.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'll start with how to spell my name because people mess that up a lot. It's Zack with a K, so it's Z-A-C-K.
Okay.
And then Joseph, which is J-O-S-E-P-H. My website is just zackjoseph.com. If you can remember that, which is pretty easy, there's links to every other site that I'm on.
Yep.
So Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I guess YouTube. It's youtube.com/ZackJosephMusic. So pretty much, I'm sure if you just type my name into the search on YouTube, you can find me. Facebook, it's facebook.com/ZackJosephMusic.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a picture with me and Jessica, actually, is my profile picture. So
Aw,
not just me.
well, there you go. Tour mates.
Yep, tour mates. And then Instagram. Instagram is fun. I'm Zack Joseph Music again. That's pretty much just pictures of my little pit bull, though, and like me doing weird things, which is fun, I guess, if you want to look at that stuff.
I'm actually on your Instagram page right now, and I think I'm two pictures in. There's you and your pit bull, and then 3 more lines down, you got another pit bull. And I just got a pit bull pup as well, too, so I feel your love, man.
Yeah, they're pretty. She's something. she's wild, but she's good. They're good dogs.
Yeah,
for sure.
They're very energetic, is a good way to say it.
And they're strong.
Yes.
She can knock me over pretty much. And I'm a pretty big guy, so.
I do have one question for you, sir, because obviously I see a bunch of selfies, which is part of what I'm bringing up. Do you know the rules of Instagram? The 3 big rules of Instagram.
Oh, no, I don't know. What are they?
Well, you've already got one of them taken care of. Rule number 1 is you have to have at least one selfie.
Okay.
So you got that one nailed. Rule number 2, and actually I think I see an orange slice, so you technically got that one too. Rule number 2 is you have to have a picture of food.
Okay. I don't do this. I usually just like eating my food, and I'm like too excited when it comes out to take a nice picture of it. So I guess I have the orange slice.
Well, I mean, it counts. I'll count it as a, whatever. It'll count for me at least. Okay. Rule number 3 is kind of one or the other you can do. You can either do a picture of a sunset or a sunrise. That's one option. Or the other one being you have to take a picture of your feet in front of some body of water, which is like a pool, a lake, the ocean, something like that. You know what picture I'm talking about? You see everybody do?
I know what yeah, like the sitting by the pool.
Yeah. My life's so tough. Here's my feet, kind of thing. So, and the ultimate Instagram picture is if you can take a selfie with food, with the sunset in the background, and your feet somehow too. So,
I don't think I pulled that one off, but
it's like the ultimate Instagram picture. If you hit it, they actually put it up as like one of their featured pictures. So.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll have to work on that when I'm on tour. I'll have to find a nice one of like the beach bars we're playing or something, and just like take a second, take my shoes off.
There you go. Or you can wear your shoes. I don't know. It's up to you.
Okay.
Make it your own, Zach. That's for sure. So
there we go.
All right. Now a little bit more business. We're into the business portion now. All the fun stuff is over with. So. Okay. You mentioned it earlier. Tell us a little about the album, if you can, that's coming out. You said in April, correct?
Yep. Mid to late April. It's going to be out before the tour, so that's part of the reason for the tour, too, is to promote the album.
Excellent.
But the album's going to be pretty epic. Like a lot of my songs that I write have kind of a nice, like, 50s early rock folk influence to them, kind of like Everly Brothers or some Johnny Cash to them. And so pretty much we're really kind of capturing that in this album. So we're doing like stand-up bass, simple drums, acoustic guitar, some electric, some slide guitar, and I think the coolest part is going to be the string section. At least I think 6 of the songs we have on there are going to have like cello, viola, violin, and bass, kind of just rocking out like that nice 60s sound of like the backup strings, like
Very
the
cool.
epic. Yeah, so it's going to come out good.
Now, are you going full album on this one? Are we talking 10 to 12 tracks, or is this going to be an extended EP kind of thing?
I would say it's like an extended EP, so it's not 5 songs. We're hitting 9 songs on it.
Ooh, that's still
So
pretty
I'm
good.
gonna call it an album just because EP doesn't sound as good.
Right. It is my first album. It's not 10
Yeah.
tracks, but it's an album. So,
Yes, it's going to be an album.
well, excellent. I'm looking forward to hearing it, and looking forward to hearing some of the produced stuff. But I'm loving the stripped down stuff, and I think I've got one more of those stripped down songs. Or is this one completely produced that you've sent to me?
Which one is it?
This is this is How I Try. The new music video is out, and I'm sorry, Zach, but I kind of just ripped the music straight from the video.
That's totally acceptable. That video is actually that's actually a live video. I mean,
Okay.
it was done with 3 different angles, so a lot of it's purely live, but it was a live audio. So it's definitely not the produced version. That one's going to have, I think, some strings, and that's definitely going to be produced. So it's definitely the stripped down live version of that song. So,
Well, there you go. The new music video just came out not too long ago, too, correct?
yeah, I think it was like a few weeks ago.
That's pretty recent. So if you're loving what Zach is up to, you're catching him right at the precipice of a career. So this is the time to jump on the Zach Joseph bandwagon, if I may say so myself.
Okay, I like that.
There you go.
Zack
You can.
wagon or something.
Hey.
On the Zacky wagon.
There you
Zacky
go.
Wagon. That sounds creepy. I shouldn't say.
I think just Zach wagon would be.
The Zack wagon, okay.
Jump on the Zach wagon. So there you go. But Zach, it's been great. Tell us a little bit about the tune before we wrap everything up. Tell us a little bit about How I Try.
So How I Try, it definitely has the folk sound to it, and I'd even go as far as to say it has like a Celtic folk sound to it. But it's essentially about the friend zone. So I guess liking someone, them not really liking you back in the way you do, but you still like the person, and you don't want to be their enemy for it, and you can't help but still like them, but you really can't hate them either. So it's just kind of I wouldn't say it's a sad song, but it's kind of sad.
It's kind of a disappointing feeling, maybe.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, but it's not supposed to be totally depressing.
Well, that's kind of how it is in the friend zone. We've all been friend zoned before,
Yeah.
so.
So still like the person. It's not like I hate what you did to me. It's just like, okay, I got to accept this isn't going to happen. But, yeah.
All right. Well, again, Zach, thank you for taking some time out and joining us here on Off the Beaten Path podcast. And much luck to you on the road for the Northbound Tour. If you live out on the East Coast, check out Zach's website. Go to his tour. Check out the show. And definitely waiting for the album to come out, in a couple of months, actually, or a couple of weeks, actually.
Yeah, I know. It's all going so quick. But, yeah, thanks for having me.
Definitely.
Appreciate it. It was fun.
Zach, again, thank you for being here, and have yourself a good one, all right?
Okay, you too. Thanks.
I'm in love with somebody who won't ever love me back, but I can't stop this train from running down this lonesome track. You can't catch me, I'm falling. You can't fix me when I crash. I'm in love with somebody, will she ever love me back? How I try to keep from smiling when eyes look my way, and how I try to keep from hoping when hope takes over me. And I know it's not her fault, I am the fool who's drowning sea. And I think it's time to move on before I'm in too deep. It's not a crime, simply wonder if the love like ours could be. I would walk 1,000 miles just to meet her by the sea. But your ship's already drifting, and I know it won't be back. We'll be sailing in the sunset, I'll be left here in the sand. How I try to keep from smiling when her eyes look my way, and how I try to keep from hoping when hope takes over me. And I know it's not her fault, I am the fool who's drowning sea. And I think it's time to move on before I'm in too deep. How I try to keep from smiling when her eyes look my way, and how I try to keep from hoping when hope takes over me. And I know it's not her fault, I am the fool who's drowning sea. And I think it's time to move on before I'm in too deep. And I know it's not her fault, I am the fool who's drowning sea. And I think it's time to move on before I'm in too deep.
Find out who your friends are.
Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/offthebeatenpath. And follow us on Twitter at OTBP Podcast.
What kind of animal are you? Do you take small steps? Do you follow it through? Do you say? How do you do? Are you a burrower? Do you like the sun? When the wind starts to blow, do you walk or do you run? I'm just trying to figure out if you're the one. Cause long ago I was a pair, and my other half he went somewhere. And when the flood came falling down, he was nowhere to be found. Oh, make a sound.
Off the Beaten Path podcast, me, Ben Merritt, and there is Susanna Schofield, and that is Animal off the album Archer. Again, Susanna got a couple albums out there for you. If you've fallen in love with her, check her out. She's a guest appearing on a bunch of other stuff, too. So, big in the last couple of years, it looks like. A lot of her guest appearances started in 2011. She's going up until just recently. So, first album came out in 2006 called Shutters and Rings. And then Archer was just released last year. So check that out. Susanna Schofield. Choffel. Susanna Schofield. Ben Merritt. It's a little bit easier to say and spell. Sorry, Susanna. Thank you to Zack Joseph for stopping by and chatting a little bit and getting his word out there. Be sure to check him out if he comes to a city near you. By the way, if you're at the Tattooed Moose, you better show up because you'll miss out if you're not. Oh, it's just so good. All right, talk about him in a little bit, but first, here is Sons of Fathers. This is off the Burning Days album. Check them out. Here it is. This is Roots and Vines on Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
Why do you run away this time? You were the one looking for the ride. But if you leave now, you'll be missing out. Oh, you're the roots and I'm the vine. Together we can make one. Drink it up, feel just fine. You're the roots and I'm the vine. If we live long, we'll enjoy our stay. But if you were gone, I wouldn't feel alive. Baby, be strong and lay it down right. Oh, you're the roots and I'm the vine. Together we can make wine. Drink it up, feel just fine. You're the roots and I'm the vine. I'm the vine. I'm the vine. I'm the vine. Stay here with me. I'll make it worth your while. Then we can see a logo high. Oh, you're the roots and I'm the vine. Together we can make wine. Drink it all and feel just fine. You're the roots and I'm the vine. I'm the vine. I'm the vine. I'm the
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. And there you go. That is Sons of Fathers and Roots and Vines off the album Burning Days. Something I literally just learned. It's kind of an amazing deal. Sons of Fathers, not only do they have a huge connection to some classic country roots, David Beck and Paul Cauthen, along with Dees, Regan, Tony, and Brian, those are the members of Sons of Fathers. But David Beck was raised in San Marcos, Texas, son of Bill Whitbeck, renowned touring bassist for Robert Earl Keen. Yeah, so if you're a Robert Earl Keen fan, then you obviously know how great that is. But the other thing that I just learned, Paul Cauthen kind of grew up in the church. His preacher grandfather taught him how to play guitar, taught him how to do his singing and all that. He was singing in church from a young age. As a matter of fact, age of 7 was when he first sang in church. But apparently things happened. He wound up in reform school, and as a youngster, he turned 20, doing some time on a Texas chain gang. And he's not much older than 20 now. He's probably in his mid-late 30s. So, but kind of realized that that's not what he wanted to do and spent all of the time that he could honing his skills as a singer and songwriter and a storyteller. So, wow. Never would have thought that. Boy was raised in the church. Preacher grandfather taught him how to play guitar, ends up on a chain gang. Now he's making professional music. And by the way, that tune right there, Roots and Vines, is on NPR's like top 10 songs we can't stop playing. Wow. Actually, the producer of that album is another legendary one, Lloyd Maines. He's worked with Joe Eli and Uncle Tupelo. I know I'm talking a lot about this, but it's a lot of really cool stuff. The producer of that album, Burning Days, said, quote, well, he described Burning Days and Sons of Fathers as saying, quote, the Everly Brothers meets Neil Young, Merle Haggard, and The Clash, end quote. I can see it, and I can love it. So there you go. Hopefully they become one of your new favorite bands, or maybe they become, just something that you'll listen to quite a bit. So there you go, Sons of Fathers here on Off the Beaten Path podcast. And that's going to do it for this week's episode. I know I rambled there at the end, but wasn't it all kind of fun stuff that you learned? Anyway, moving on. Next week, Levi Riggs stepping into studio. And we're getting ever so closer and closer to that end of the first season event. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Next week, I can probably tell you exactly what's going to happen. So much fun. Anyway, so yeah, Levi Riggs next week. Thank you to Zach Joseph for this week, stopping by and chatting with me on the phone. But Levi Riggs in studio next week, so stick around. It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt.